Previously on the last Pokemon Crystal Challenge run, we have reunited a bird with its human, and coming up, that is just revenge for all of the times you've Secret Potioned us. So today we are running Persian. This is a Pokemon that I have a very fond memory of from the last challenge run, so we'll have to see how well it does this time. Now, as we're getting into this challenge, I want to say this was recorded before the Supermon challenges were a thing, so there are a couple of references to previous challenges, which actually mean the previous timed challenge run. Now, if you do enjoy these, or any of the other challenges we do together here on the channel, please do consider leaving a like and maybe even subscribing as well. That way you don't miss out on any of the runs we do together. Now, in terms of our stats, we're level 5 with 21 HP. We're holding a berry with Scratch, Growl and Bite. 13 in attack, 12 in defense, 13 in specials and 18 in speed. And with that, I'll pass you to the live run to see how we do. Today we're going to be running Persian. It's been a long time since we've run Persian, over a couple of years in fact. And to make it a little bit different, we're going to be running at the end of the line. So that means we are starting as a Persian, unlike our original run where we started with Meowth. And it does go to reason that with the amount of crystal challenges we have done over the last 3 and a bit years, we are going to be seeing a few Pokemon get redos, but I'm going to be trying to do most of them as end of the line so that we at least have a slightly different experience and we can see just how much of a difference starting at the end of the line makes as well. Now, the reason I've chosen Persian is because of our last challenge together. If you've not seen it, please do watch that one before this one, because there may be comparisons throughout the course of this voiceover. And the first comparison is actually right now. We had very low speed with our Ampharos challenge, but we did have a lot in the special attack department. In this one, we've got middle of the road stats, 74 attack, 65 for special attack in our offensive departments, but we've got a whopping 115 in speed. And I want to see whether this speed stat will make that much of a difference throughout the course of the challenge, because we are not going to need to worry about going second, barring those pesky priority moves. We've also got Stab Normal, which will give us a very, very good opening. We're going to be getting both Swift and Headbutt, and I've gone for Hidden Power Fire here, mostly for Jasmine. I'm hoping that Stab Return will be enough, maybe combined with some Headbutts, to get through the pesky Dragon types. And other than that, I'm hoping for a fairly smooth run. So let us now take on rival number 1. He's got the Totodile line today. I thought he gets Bite, we get Bite. Nice bit of symmetry there as we grow up to level 7. And I'm playing with a lot more confidence after that Ampharos run, even though the end wasn't quite what I was hoping for. The actual main chunk of the run was very, very solid, all things considered. So that has gained the confidence back for me to be playing, hopefully, at top form again. But now we have spoken to Professor Elm, we've named the rival triple question mark. Let's get ourselves over to Violet City. And after beating up a couple of gym trainers, we are now ready for Falkner. He's our first gym leader together. He's a flying type specialist, leads with Pidgey. 3 shots on the Pidgey, we're going to swap to Bites for the Pidgeotto, and we're going to fish for a flinch. It doesn't look like we're getting very much flinch luck here, but as soon as I say that, the game turns me into a liar, and we get through Falkner on our first try in 4 minutes and 36 seconds. Not bad, considering we don't have the best defensive stats in the world. We will have a little call from Elm now. We'll pick up the egg. We'll ignore the egg as we always do. We'll also do a cheeky little heal here. And then we can think about heading towards the Union Cave, where we're going to be picking up our first HM friend. And now that we're outside the Union Cave, we will pause the timer and we will catch our Kenya. Kenya is going to be helping us out with Fly as soon as we defeated Chuck, and that will let us access all places we've been to in double quick time. We always call us Kenya Spearow here on this channel. Our Kenya Spearow? Our Spearow Kenya, rather. So let's now move on into Azalea Town. We're going to do things actually slightly differently today. We are going to do the buildings in reverse. And that's because I want to pick up a couple of bits from the Pokemon. So the first thing we'll do is we will pause the timer once more to catch our set of HM friends from the forest. So we're going to start off with the Psyduck. Psyduck will be helping us out with Surf, Strength, Whirlpool and Waterfall. And we will also get our Paris. Paris will be helping us out with Cut, with Rock Smash and with Dig. Rock Smash is so that we can get ourselves HP up a little bit earlier on. And with the HM Friends Quartz for another challenge, I'm just going to very quickly reorder those two. And we will unpause the timer. I'm going to do a very quick heal here, just for PP purposes. And then we're going to go into the Pokemart. In here, we're going to need to pick up a single escape rope. And let's get ourselves 9 repels. How much money do we have left? We can get 2 super potions with that as well. And we're going to go back into the Union Cave now. We don't want to battle Hiker Anthony. He is not any good for us. And we shall take advantage of our full steps there. Bring our repel up. And we are going to go now in to the Swift Room. We're going to beat up Pokemaniac's Larry Slowpoke en route, of course. We have Bite, he has Tackle, it's no match. And then we are going to be teaching Swift, quick, sharp, and in a hurry. In fact, you could say we're teaching Swift relatively swiftly. So let us get it on the learn set. My controller really does need a bit of an upgrade again. I'm still playing with a wonky D-pad. And now that we're out of here, I'll go and beat up the Rockets. And it'll be time for our second gym. And after dealing with all of the gym trainers in Bugsy's gym, it's now time to take on Bugsy, our second gym leader, together. A normal type, no, not a normal type specialist at all. A bug type specialist who led with Metapod. Kakuna will go down in 2, and now we're on to the Scyther. We probably do no, we don't outspeed the Scyther, goodness me. But we should have been fine, but the crit knocked us out. How incredibly frustrating. Hopefully we will get a couple of bite flinches this time around. We're going to go for bite against the Kakuna and the Metapod, and then we'll swap to Swift for the Scyther. Fury Cutter has missed. That's a very good start this time, and we get the ranges. It just shows how much RNG goes into these battles. We do get our next badge though in 10 minutes and 24 seconds, and now we will go straight round the corner and we will engage Rival 2 in battle. This time he is going to lead with Garcy, and this is the last battle before we can brute force our way through the challenge with Headbutt. We have a flinching move with Bites, we're going to have a double flinching move with Headbutt soon. Let us bite this Croconaut a little bit as well, try and play for a couple of flinches, and then we'll swap to Swift. There we go, Rival 2 very easy, just shy of 11 minutes for the second rival battle. Let's make our way now through the forest. So once again we start off with Cut. An absolutely useless move in battle, but we do need it to get through a very, very small number of trees in the course of this challenge. An alarmingly small number of trees, but enough that we need to keep it right until the very end. We will get a Headbutt as well from the green haired man staring at the tree, and as always we're going to teach that straight away. There is absolutely no sense in not having Headbutt on the learn set. So we are going to replace Scratch, and we'll be running Swift and Headbutt in tandem. We're also going to get rid of Growl because we don't really use attack lowering moves. And we'll stick on another Repel, we'll grab the pair of Ether, and then it'll be time to catch our final HM friend, which is of course going to be Abra. Now Abra will be helping us out with Teleport, and Teleport is an incredibly handy move, not even just for up until when you get Fly. It's handy throughout the whole course of the challenge. And with Abra caught, the HM friends are complete. Let's move on into Goldenrod. And now we've already done our first sweep through of Goldenrod City. We've been up north to the National Park, we picked up Dig, we've also had a little chat with Floria, and now we are going to beat up these underground trainers before taking on Whitney. Not only do we get a little bit of extra early game experience, it's also a lot better to take these on now, because they're going to consistently be one-shots anyway, and then we don't need to worry about our power points when we get down here for the second time when we're facing Rival 4 rather. So I do like doing them now, and we also get an extra level out of that, getting up to 22. We'll pick up the coin case because we do learn Thunderbolt, and you never know, Thunderbolt might end up being handy for Red. It is going to be super effective against 2 of his Pokemon. We'll dig out of here now, we'll get into the gym, and we'll take on Whitney. And with her one mandatory gym trainer out of the way, this is Whitney. Third gym leader together, normal type specialist, leads with Clefairy. Clefairy's glowing there, so we'll get rid of it quick, sharp, and in a hurry. We are flinch locking the Miltank here as well. She locks herself into rollout, and it's all over before it began for Whitney. That gives us our third badge, the plain badge, in a time of 15 minutes and 34 seconds. 5:09 for a Whitney split is not bad going at all. Let's get out of here, let's have a little chat with the eavesdropping so-and-so, and then we'll do our healing Goldenrod, and we'll make our way over to Olivine. And now, en route to Olivine, we're going to pick up the minceberry. We are also going to pick up the nuggets so that we can sell it for some vitamins later on. And in case you're wondering why we go all the way to Olivine and then backtrack, it's not actually that long going back from Olivine to Ecruteak. It's only about 6 or 7 seconds if you get your movement correct. And that gives us access to the minceberry before we take on Morty. Morty likes to send your Pokemon to sleep. It also gives us some extra levels for the Kimono Girls, Morty and Rival 3. So it actually proves to be a little bit more consistent and a little bit safer than doing Olivine after we've done Ecruteak. So it's something I incorporate into nearly every challenge run now. The only time I'll avoid it is if we have to do Lake of Rage in order to get through the ghost types. So a Pokemon like Tauros, I probably wouldn't do this version of Olivine into Ecruteak. I'd do it Ecruteak into Olivine, but go to the Lake of Rage before I take on anything in Ecruteak. So in case you're wondering, that is why. Let's now get to the tippy top of the lighthouse and we'll have a little chat with Jazz. And at the top of the lighthouse we'll have a little chat with Jasmine. We'll fall through the floor and break our ankles on one of those drops. We'll get out of here, we'll do another heal here in Olivine, and then we'll make our way back to Ecruteak, where we will take on rival number 3. And so here we are in the Burnt Tower. We will take on the third and middle rival battle. This time he is going to lead with Haunter. He's let his Ghastly evolve, and we're going to have a little nibble on it and hope that we flinch it. We don't flinch it, so we are on a clock now for the rest of the battle. Is it going to be a one-shot on the Magnemite? The answer, unfortunately, is no. We do knock it out in 2 shots, though, and we are on to Zubat. We are no longer confused. That's absolutely fantastic. That means we should have the win in the bag. We get through very, very easily, all things considered, with all those status conditions afflicting us. We'll fall through the floor, and now it'll be time for Morty. Because we were a little bit underleveled, I've gone and done the Kimono Girls before Morty, so I'm hoping that will give us a slightly better chance of getting through. We do need to equip the Minceberry for this battle, though. There was something I forgot. I took it off, just in case, for some reason, we ended up sent to sleep by the Kimono Girls, which isn't a possibility, but it's always better to get into the habit of taking off your consumable items if you're going on a bit of a detour. Now, Morty should be fairly easy now that we have the extra level. A couple of those 2-shot ranges are now 1-shots, maybe a 2-shot. Yeah, still a 2-shot on the Haunter, but we were absolutely fine. Fog Badge in 23:37. Do remember we have already done the Kimono Girls though, so that is a little bit quicker than it might otherwise seem at first glance. With that, we'll now head to the Lake of Rage. And so here at the Lake of Rage, we are going to take on the Gyarados right about now. I can't see too many issues with the Gyarados. It'll be a 3-shot at most. We have Headbutt as well, so the flinches come quick, sharp, and in a hurry. We will now have a little chat with Lance. We'll activate him in Mahogany, but we're not going to be seeing him for a while. Even with the Rocket storyline being cut out, we're not going to be chatting with Lance all the way until after we've got our 6th badge. For now, though, we are going to head deeper into the Lake of Rage, where we'll pick up the rare candy. We're also going to replace Mudslap with Hidden Power Fire. They're ostensibly serving the same purpose throughout the course of this challenge, but Hidden Power Fire is going to do a much better job of it, and we don't have to get into a pesky battle in order to boost our Fire-type moves. We have to get into a pesky 3-way battle to boost our Ground-type moves, unfortunately. I did forget to pick up the Repels here in Olivine, so we'll pick up 9 Super Repels while we're at it. And so here we are in front of Chuck, our 5th gym leader together today. He is a fighting-type specialist who leads with Primeape. We are hopefully going to be playing around the flinches here. I think that's going to be our best way to get through this battle. Or Dynamic Punch missing would be perfect as well. Unfortunately, it's landed there combined with Aaliyah. We were always going to go down. Dynamic Punch is a very, very strong move. So we will be throwing the dice a little bit here and just hoping for the flinches and the misses. That's one flinch, and that's the exact same scenario as first time. Annoyingly as well, Chuck's intro is incredibly long, so we could be struggling at another gym leader and have a much shorter intro, or we could have Chuck's, which is a lot longer. Let us just keep retrying, we'll eventually get it. I don't think there's any sense in trying to get another level anywhere. I think it's going to be much of a muchness. We just have to hope for the flinch luck, which isn't happening today for some reason. That is incredibly annoying. We've had like 2 flinches in well over 6 or 7 turns. We've not had the important flinch there, and we've also not had the Gen 2 miss on Leah. This is kinda silly. And once again, 1 flinch turn is all we need. Well, 1 flinch turn and a dynamic punch miss is what we really need. There we go. Leah has failed. Let's see what happens now. Mind Reader, that's fine. Hypnosis, even better. There we go. Because Leah failed, he went for Hypnosis. That is what we were hoping for the entire way. A few resets in Chuck, but all over. Not too terrible. We get HMO 2, I've got a bit of housekeeping to do now, and then we'll meet up for our next gym. Now in this run, I've decided to take on Price 6th. That is so that we can get our badge boost for our special attack when it comes to facing Jasmine. I think that could make all the difference between a difficult and a relatively easy battle. That attack drop is incredibly frustrating there from the Dugong. But we do have Hidden Power Fire and we crit, so it didn't matter in the end. Goodness me, I think we might have had a bit of the secret potion there, but we do get our Glacier badge in 34:14. Let's now do a very quick heal and we'll take our trip up the lighthouse to meet Jazz again. And at the top of the lighthouse we will give Jasmine the secret potion. It's partially open today because we had a little bit of it for the price battle, but we will leave and we'll hope she doesn't notice. Let us now take on Jasmine. She is our 7th gym leader today, our penultimate Johtonian leader, a steel-type specialist who leads with Magnemite. We've got Hidden Power, Magnemite's got no special defense, we know what happens here. It's all about the Steelix, and we should hopefully have it in 2-shot range. We crit! We are still on the old secret potion here. I'm not going to complain, that was very easy, Jasmine, I do apologise about that. That is just revenge for all of the times you've secret potioned us. Let's now make our way back to Goldenrod and we'll deal with Rival 4. And now, after defeating about half the Rockets, we are ready for the 4th and penultimate rival battle. This time he leads with Golbat, we'll use Return and we'll knock it out in 1. And up next is Magnemite. We've got Hidden Power, we know we can one-shot with Hidden Power. We can bite the Haunter and this time it goes down in 1. And then we can use Return on the Sneasel. We grow to level 42, that just leaves for Alligator left to go. We'll fish for a flinch with Headbutt. We get the flinch this time, and we are through with a damageless Rival 4 in 41:47. With that, there's even more rockets to do. Aren't I the privileged one? I'll get through these and we'll meet back up in black form for Claire. And now we are ready for Claire. She is our final Johtonian gym leader. She is a Dragon-type specialist, leads with Dragonair. So 1 shot on the Dragonair, out comes another one, and yet again it's going to be another 1 shot. She'll try again with a 3rd, and it'll be exactly the same situation. We'll grow up to level 48, and here comes the Kingdra. We're going to try and avoid a healing loop here, which is exactly what we get, and we 2-shot the Kingdra with Headbutt, and we defeat Claire, and we can rush to the Dragon's Den now to get her badge. And by answering 11212, we get the little survey all correct. Claire enters into the Dragon's Den and she gives us our final Johtonian badge, the Rising badge, in a time of 48 minutes and 40 seconds. That, considering we only have 70 in physical attack and we're in medium fast, is not bad going at all. The normal type is definitely propping us up here. Let's now start making our way towards the Pokémon League. And now, on our way to the League, we are going to be ambushed for one final time by the rival. This time he's going to lead with Sneasel. We outspeed the Sneasel and we'll knock it out with a Return. He sends out Golbat next, and the Pink Bow boosted Return is enough to knock it out in 1 as well. Up comes Magneton, we'll use Hidden Power, we'll get rid of it straight away. We'll use Shadow Ball, which I taught in place of Bite, on the Haunter, and then we might as well Shadow Ball the Kadabra as well. And that just leaves for Alligator left to go. We're going to go for the same strat as last time. Fish for the flinch. That's exactly what happens. We grow to 51, and we are through the rival in 51 minutes and 44 seconds. With that, we're at the Pokémon League, so we're going to pick up 4 full restores, And now we'll go into the league and we'll see how we get on. This is Will, he's our first league member. He is a psychic type specialist who leads with Johto. We've got Shadow Ball just in case we need a super effective move, but we're going to be trying for return the entire way through this battle. We'll go for a headbutt actually against this Executor. Psychic hits us, but not too hard, all things considered. We will go for another headbutt against the Slowbro. Curse is fine, we'll just keep on headbutting. It can keep swearing at us, we'll swap to return, and then we will use a return against the Johto as well. Level 52 acquired, and Will has been defeated. Time of 52:28. Now I'm going to actually use the rare candies fairly early on here. We are at a nice clean level, so I think it makes sense to use all of these rare candies while we are there. Just making sure we used the correct item there. We did a full restore as well to get our HP back up. And let's take on Will now. He is our second league member. He is a poison type specialist who led with Ariados that went down. Venomoth goes down in the same way. And we've held on to Hidden Power Fire mostly for this fortress. It goes away just as we'd like it to. I don't have the confidence for a one-shot on Mux. We'll do the old one too. And then we'll risk it for a biscuit against this Crobat. Oh, close but no banana. We are going to go for a headbutt. And we will headbutt it twice to get through Koga. Time of 53:20. Now Bruno could be tricky. He is a fighting type specialist. We have the lion's share of our resets courtesy of fighting type trainers. We will see how we get on. The good news is we're one-shotting all of the Hitmons. We're going to take some guaranteed damage here. That's an awful lot of damage, but honestly, I don't think it'll make that much difference, all things considered. We one-shot Machamp. That is huge. We don't have anything great for Onyx, and I really should have taught something like Icy Wind, but it's absolutely fine. We get through regardless, and we can move on to Karen. That is one of the best feelings ever. Getting through Bruno there. A battle I was incredibly worried about on our first try. Let's do our prep work for Karen. Let's see how we get on now. This is Karen. She is a dark type specialist who also specialises in pain for the player. And she leads with Umbreon. Unfortunately, Sand Attack has hit. So we are at low inaccuracy for the rest of this battle now. We one-shot Vileplume though. And we have Shadow Ball for the Gengar. That will bring us on to Murkrow. We misclicked there. I meant to go for return, but my right hand acted quicker than my left. I think we're in the clear now, though. Just about. We grow to level 59, and we have first try Karen. Lance, on the other hand, could be an entirely other story. I don't think there's any use case now for Hidden Power Fire. So I'm going to teach Icy Wind. Somehow we learn it. I'm going to stick on the Nevermelt Ice, but I'm not really committed to this. I am wondering whether we need Pink Bow and Paralyzed Cure Berry. We'll see what happens. Rain Dance is fine. It means nothing. Now, is this a one-shot? That one was a crit. That tells us absolutely nothing. That one was a one-shot. Right, okay. Let's keep on Icy Winding. Wing Attack doesn't really mean anything. Now, are we able to one-shot the Charizard? That is the question. The answer is no. We take some damage from Flamethrower, but that's fine. I think we should be able to tank an Outrage. Hyper Beam misses. He's healing looping. Icy Wind connects. We will then go to Headbutt. And we get first try Lance in 56 minutes and a second. Blooming heck, Persian, you pulled it out of the bag there. I am incredibly proud of this little cat for getting through the league without a single reset. That has made my day. 56-18 through the Pokémon League. Let's take a look at our midpoint leaderboards. And that time of 56 minutes and 1 second puts us in 14th place on our Unbound midpoint leaderboard. I do think the Chuck fight really slowed us down there. We are in 39th place overall on our midpoint leaderboard though, which is not bad at all. Don't forget though, this is only half of the story. There's another 8 gym badges plus a red fight left to come, so don't you dare go anywhere, because Kanto is next. And we are rejoining the action here, as we always do in Vermilion City, where the first thing we do in Kanto is the last thing we do in Johto. We're going to get another rare candy, this time for the chairman of the Pokémon Fan Club. And with that safely tucked away in our bag for yet another challenge, I'm more than pleased to announce that Persian is definitely capable of taking on our standard Kantonian routing. So we're going to start here in Vermilion City with Lieutenant Surge, then we'll go over to Celadon City for Erica, it's down to Fuchsia for Janine, across to Saffron for Sabrina, up to Cerulean for Misty, across to Pewter for Brock, and then we'll go down to the Seafoam Islands for Blaine and finish off with Blue. And talking of Blue, if you do want to skip ahead to the Blue fight, it's going to be happening at around about 28 minutes and 38 seconds. For everybody else who's sticking with us, let's sit back, relax, and have our standard Kantonian chat. And in this one, I want to talk to you all a little bit about the stuff I've been doing behind the scenes recently. As you may or may not know, Supermon has really taken over my life at the moment. I am obsessed with it, and I am having such a good time doing the Supermon challenges. So at least until the middle of December, we're going to be running a couple of Supermon challenges a week. I have also got the Supermon patch to a state where I'm happy to release it at least in beta, so that is now available on the website allthews.trainersquidgy.com if you do want to download it. Now, don't fret if you're not a big fan of Supermon, because we are still going to be doing some of these old classic timed challenges as well. At the moment they're going to be once a week, and that's probably going to be the case right up until through the new year. And then once the new year hits, I'm changing things up ever so slightly again, and we're going to start seeing a few more of the time challenges coming back. This Supermon challenge as well is giving me the time to think about what I want to do with these challenges that are against the clock. Because as much as I love the timed challenges, we've been doing them together for over 3 years now, and they've become a little bit predictable. For a lot of Pokemon which we haven't run, we probably don't need to run them to have a very good idea within 5 minutes or so either way of where that Pokemon will finish. Of course, RNG and movement does change things slightly, but we have that good indication. And I've got to be honest, with knowing roughly where each Pokemon's going to finish, it is a little bit demotivating to do these challenges because there's no mystery anymore. So I really do need to find that key to making the time challenges that little bit more mysterious and that little bit more unique again. I think the egg move runs are a very good way to do that, so that's something I'm going to be focusing on a fair bit between now and the end of the year. And then in the new year, we've got some brand new challenges coming up as well. I'm not going to reveal too much about them yet, because they are still very much works in progress. We've got a couple of different challenge ideas for Pokemon Crystal currently cooking up, and I am also working on a challenge run patch. I think I mentioned it in the last Kanto chat actually. We've got a challenge run patch in the works for both Fire Red and Emerald. So I'm going to try in the new year to at least get some semi-regular Generation 3 content out as well, because I think there's a lot of unfinished business that we have in the Generation 3 games. They've always been a little bit tricky to get off the ground, so hopefully it will be third time lucky for Gen 3. But with that, we've reached the end, so I'm now going to pass you back to the live run to see how we get on at Blue. And now we have made it to Blue for another challenge. He is our final gym leader of the run, and he leads with Pidgeot. We're not going to be able to one-shot the Pidgeot even with the pink bow, so I've decided to swap to the leftovers. A 1-2 of return and Headbutt gets rid of Pidgeot. We'll get rid of Alakazam as well, and we are back at full health for the Rhydon. We're going to use Icy Wind. It's probably not going to be a one-shot, but he goes for Earthquake. That means we don't have to worry about any kind of weather shenanigans with the Gyarados. We'll fish for a flinch instead. We don't get it, and he goes for Hyper Beam. That's a little bit mean of him, but it does mean he can't Healing Loop. Onto the Executor we go. Once again, we're going to go for fishing for a flinch. He takes in Sunlight. That's absolutely fine by me. If we flinch this Arcanine, we are in the clear. Let's see what happens. We critical hit. Flamethrower hits us, but it doesn't burn, and he gets himself caught in a Healing Loop. We will go for a Headbutt on turn 1. We will then go for a return on turn 2. And we get the Earth Badge first try in 109.22. I'm not sure how deserved that Earth Badge was, but I am not going to complain. I feel like the AI did us a huge, huge favour there. We'll now have a little chat with Professor Oak, we'll unlock Silver Cave, and we will take on Red. And so now, at level 70, we'll dig in and we'll see just how bad this Red fight is. He leads with Pikachu, we one-shot the Pikachu, that's a very good start. And we're on to Espeon. We're fishing for a flinch here, ideally. We don't get it, and that does mean that we are going to take a reset. I think we have to flinch this Espeon. I think that might be our only way of getting through, unfortunately. Let us try again. Reflect would be terrible. We have got the flinch this time, so we can see how bad the Snorlax is going to be. Hopefully we'll get a nice lucky critical hit or something. Body Slam hits for a lot of damage. He crit us. I think this is going to be a bit about the RNG as well. It's not just the slow Pokemon that sometimes have to fish for the RNG. Sometimes these quicker ones do as well. Psychic hits for a lot of damage, goodness me. That means that this Snorlax is more likely to go for Body Slam straight off the bat. We need to flinch that Espeon. There is no ifs, ands or buts about it. We need to make sure that that Espeon gets itself flinched. Now we need to go for return on turn 1, that much is given as well, because that means we can one-shot the Pikachu and we don't need to worry about it. On to the Espeon we go once more. If it reflects, we take a reset. I'm wondering, you know, if the pink bow might be a good idea. I want to try and get back onto the Snorlax, and I want to try and figure out sort of vague damage ranges so that I can see whether I think the pink bow would be a good idea or not. I think, though, we could be in for the long haul here. I do have a double team in the bag, and I'm not afraid to use it, just in case we do need to get our evasion up just a little bit. How much are we doing there? I don't think the pink bow's going to be enough to save us, you know. At least we get through in the green now against the Snorlax this time. We're on to Venusaur. We are going to go straight in for return. Oh, pink bow might be an idea there. I'm going to pause the timer and I'm going to have a little think. So I did bring the TMs for what I like to call the scumbag special. Protect and double team together. Sometimes it's what you've got to use. We're just going to do a single double team against the Pikachu. I want to try and see just how much damage we can do against this Espeon. Not enough. Let us instead go for Protect. And we will fish for the RNG against this Pikachu. We'll do 3 double teams and then we'll go in for a return. I don't want to risk any more than that. Let us now use another double team and Psychic hits, for goodness sake. Psychic is better than Return, and Psychic was better than Reflect rather, but I wasn't planning on it hitting through all of our double teams. We can tank a Thunder or 2. Charm is rude. I don't particularly want to have to go for Curse because I want to be outspeeding everything as well. We do have Curse in the bag, but we'll call that a very, very, very last resort. I don't think Curse is right for this Pokemon, at least from gut instinct. We're through the Pikachu once more now. We are going to fish for the flinch against the Espeon. We get it. We're recovering. We're going to recover one more turn as well. Do a quick double team because that won't make too much difference. And we are back on to the Snorlax. We'll use Return. Amnesia's fine. We'll use another Return. Body Slam misses. We're at full HP now for the Venusaur. We're going to fish for a flinch once more. We get the flinch. Return is fine. He goes for Sunny Day. That's not great, honestly. But we're just going to play for it. Flamethrower's missed. The Sun's strong. I think we have the win now. It's not the nicest strategy in the world. It's definitely not the cleanest. But it gets the job done. Level 71 acquired, and we defeat Red in a time of 1 hour, 15 minutes and 34 seconds. Let's take a look at the final leaderboards. And that time of 1:15:34 puts us in 12th place on our Unbound leaderboard. So we did in fact gain a couple of places from our Hall of Fame leaderboard position. There is of course no change to the top 10 on the Unbound, and we're in 38th place overall for every single Crystal video we've ever done. But with that, we are done. So now, as the leaderboard plays out in the background, I'm going to say thank you all so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. If you enjoyed this one, please do think about leaving a like. If you've really enjoyed it, consider subscribing. If you do want early access to any of these runs, you can join the HM Friends and become a channel member. But until next time, I will say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all very, very soon for another Pokemon Crystal Challenge.